I was wondering if you have any news about helicopters in MSFS 2020. I have seen some of your articles, but shouldn't helicopters be in the sim already? That was just one of the many emails and messages I've been receiving asking about helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator. After all, it is 2022 already, right? This video is brought to you thanks to the generosity of our patrons. If you'd like to support HeliSimmer.com and all that we do, please visit patreon.com/HeliSimmer. Hello there, I am Sergio, editor and founder of HeliSimmer.com, and this is Ask Me Stuff, a series where I answer questions that are sent to me through various means. You can email me at sergio@HeliSimmer.com, leave a comment in one of our videos, or reach out on our Facebook group, for example. I always do my best to answer every message and email sent to me, but sometimes I also grab one of these questions and do a video like this one. The topic today, as you already know, is helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator. What do we know about them? Please bear with me as I let you know a bit more about the time I met the development team, as I believe it is very important to understand what I believe to be the mindset of Microsoft and Azobo regarding helicopters in the platform. Because there's a good reason why helicopters didn't make it into Microsoft Flight Simulator in the first place, and that is also the reason why we don't have helicopters in the sim just yet. Back in 2019, I was one of the media/content creators that was very lucky to get invited to the Microsoft Global Preview event in Renton, Washington, where we had the first contact with the sim. In that event, we not only saw Microsoft and Azobo's presentation, but we also got to see the sim for the very first time and get hands-on, so we were able to talk to the elements of all the teams. During the hands-on, I was approached by folks from Microsoft and Azobo as they wanted to talk to me about helicopters. I was surprised, but very pleased that someone wanted to talk about the matter. I was even more surprised when suddenly I realized I had 4 or 5 persons all around me and they were discussing this issue. 2 of them were none other than Sebastian Locke and Marcel Bossart from Azobo, which you can usually see during the live dev Q&As. During that conversation, it was very clear to me that Azobo and Microsoft wanted to get helicopters done the right way. They didn't want to do any hacking or half-assed jobs, so they strategically decided not to add helicopters into the sim, but add them in the future. They were also very clear and transparent about it, and they said that it would not happen quickly, as we know. Which I honestly was okay with it. Here's the thing, I would rather have good helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator later than terrible helicopters sooner. Microsoft and Azobo seem to be thinking strategically in a way that I, as a software developer, would probably do as well. So what is the status of helicopters? What can we expect? Throughout all this process, from the global preview event in Renton to the actual day, I have been writing little pieces of information. Every little thing that I can grab, I will let you know. You can find a list of those articles down below in the video description if you want to check out the sources or more details. First of all, native support in Microsoft Flight Simulator will be added free of charge. We won't have to buy a special version or a DLC or anything like that. The sim will support helicopters, and third-party developers can use that support to build free or pay-weight helicopters as they wish. Nonetheless, Microsoft is planning on releasing a paid DLC with anything between 4 to 8 helicopters, but this number can vary, as this was something that was mentioned back in 2020. What we still don't know is whether we will have a free default helicopter. This would be very important, as it would allow people to try helicopters in a quality controlled in the add-on. I think we should have all sorts of aircraft types available in the base sim, and helicopters are not, of course, an exception. I have had the opportunity to let Microsoft know about my thoughts about this. I have even made a recommendation on the model I would like to see as a default helicopter, which could be very interesting for newcomers and veterans as well. Microsoft also mentioned they would like to add other features that are related to helicopters into the sim. Just like with airports, the team wants to have heliports and helipads all around the world. In the most recent live dev Q&A, Sebastian Locke, CEO of Azobo, has talked about their work on the new propeller system. In that stream, we were presented with a small video clip with the legend new CFD airflow helicopters. CFD stands for Computational Fluid Dynamics, and in a very simplistic explanation is a calculation or simulation of how fluids behave and interact with the environment and objects. We usually see fluids as something liquid, but a fluid is something that flows like the air. The CFD video shows air flowing around the eVTOL and interacting with it and the ground as well. The video is quite impressive, and if Azobo plays their cards right, that could mean a very advanced and fantastic flight dynamics engine. Alright, and when are we getting all this? Well, Microsoft has let us know that very recently, also in that live dev Q&A. We should expect helicopters to be natively supported in the fall of 2022. Am I excited? Hell yeah, I am. I still have high hopes for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I believe that if Azobo and Microsoft manage to do everything they are setting themselves to do, we could have a great product for the helicopter lovers. After all, this sim is begging for helicopters, and we do need good helicopters in all the sims we can get our hands on anyway. So, in a nutshell, helicopter support is coming in the fall of 2022, and it will be free. We may have, and we probably will, a DLC with anything between 4 to 8 helicopters coming from Microsoft Flight Simulator. This will be a paid helicopter, and it is separate from the native helicopter support, which again will be made available for free, and developers can build their helicopters on top of it. This is pretty much everything we know about helicopters, but there's one small piece of information that I haven't told you yet, and it's not on any of the articles that you can find in the video description. I know for a fact that Microsoft has been contacting helicopter developers and adding them as partners to their program. So we can expect something very cool coming in the fall of 2022 for sure. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please consider giving it a like if you did enjoy it, and perhaps even subscribing to our channel. Oh, and if you'd like to support HeliSimmer.com, please consider joining as a member here on YouTube as well. Just click the join button below this video to find out more. Meanwhile, I will be seeing you all in the next video. Until then, take care and fly safe.